everybody is going to need Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to be the monetary standard of the next, millennium. And so it's kind of like, Jesus, I mean, here you are, you got a chance to buy this 15 years in for something that could last hundreds, if not 1,000 plus years. I mean, you're not too late. You're really not too late. So my view is, buy what you can, forget about it, and, sit back and enjoy the fact that in Bitcoin terms, you're going to get, in fiat terms, you're going to get richer and richer. As Bitcoin becomes more and more of a replacement for fiat, because it's just a much better form of money.
Sharing knowledge was revolutionized by the printing press. Bitcoin has now had the same effect on money. We have a means of storing value that a small group of people doesn't control for the first time in history. Bitcoin will alter how we think about money and investing, much like the internet opened up new possibilities. People will find it simpler to make wise investments and avoid squandering their cash on unprofitable ventures. The current system allows a select few individuals to determine how money is distributed. However, we can take charge of our money and create a better future using Bitcoin. Similar to how our predecessors once believed that it was a good idea to bleed patients, we'll look back on our previous financial practices and wonder how we ever came to believe that they made sense. When he made internet investments in 1993 and 1994, well-known investment manager and Bitcoin enthusiast Lawrence Lepard was ahead of his time. After that, he started investing in precious metals like gold and silver, and soon came across what he thinks is a once-in-a-lifetime chance: Bitcoin. Larry, as affectionately known, invested in Bitcoin when it was only worth $300 a coin. In this interview, he discusses his opinions on the current condition of Bitcoin, how it is similar to the early internet, and why he believes it has the potential to reach millions of dollars per coin. As we bring you clips from his recent interview, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
If and when the problems become so pronounced and so widely known that everyone decides, I got to get the out of these currencies right now, okay, then you're going to see, Bitcoin going to 1 million or 2 million. I mean, it's hyperbitcoinization, really. And I think that's, I don't put a 50% probability on that, but it's not a 0% probability. It's maybe as high as a 20 or 25% probability that kind of an event occurs in the future. Well, I don't think anybody's missed the boat. I mean, I think we're still very much in the early days, and it's going to 10x, and that's going to 10x again. So, I mean, from an investing point of view, you don't want to miss something that's going to go up 100x and maybe 1,000x if you talk 15, 20 years out. I don't think, and point one is going to be a meaningful amount to have. I mean, it's being a whole coiner is going to be an enormous deal in a few years. And so, I don't think you missed the boat. I mean, I think you've got to understand, what's going on here and the way this can continue to compound in value. I mean, you cited the Microsoft example, and I told the story in Madeira, when I was on the stage with Saylor and Lynn and Preston. And, I bought Microsoft at what would now be split adjusted 6 cents, and the stock is worth hundreds of dollars. And so it was, like 4,300 times your money, or, 4,300 times your money, right? I mean, it's nuts. And, I bought it in, this was in 86 when they came public. Or 87, and I sold it a few years later in order to buy a condominium because I'd made money on it. It had gone up 2 or 3x and been a good investment, but I needed the money to buy a place to live, and I'm not angry at that decision. I'm angry at the fact that I didn't sell 2/3 of it and keep a third. Do you know what I mean? And find the other third somewhere else. I probably could have found it. There's something I could have done some way. I could have gotten the other third, but anyway. People don't understand the value of compounding something at 20, 30, 40% a year over a bunch of years. I mean, this is how great fortunes are built. And this is a truly unique asset. Just as Microsoft was a truly unique asset. I mean, they had the protocol, so to speak, for running PCs, and PCs were about to go from being an expensive toy that replaced a typewriter or a Wang word processor to becoming something that everybody had 6 of in their houses, and every single one of them that ran Microsoft's software needed their product. And that's what's going to happen here. I mean, everybody is going to need Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to be the monetary standard of the next, millennium. And so it's kind of like, Jesus, I mean, here you are, you've got a chance to buy this 15 years in for something that could last hundreds, if not 1,000 plus years. I mean, you're not too late. You're really not too late. My view is, buy what you can, forget about it, and, sit back and enjoy the fact that in Bitcoin terms, you're going to get, in fiat terms, you're going to get richer and richer as Bitcoin becomes more and more of a replacement for fiat, because it's just a much better form of money. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, some people think, well, it's this magic internet money or whatever it is, or you guys are all a cult, or it's a bubble, or no, it's none of those things. This is a technical innovation. This is the invention of provable digital scarcity.
Larry thinks people will swarm to Bitcoin when the issues with conventional currencies become too great to ignore, propelling its value to previously unheard of heights. He assures new investors that they haven't missed the opportunity to buy Bitcoin, despite their belief to the contrary. He asserts that Bitcoin is still in its infancy, and it will only get bigger from here. Furthermore, he shares his Microsoft investment story and how it paid off greatly. He also adds that he sold some shares early and regrets it now. According to Larry, the idea is that wealth is created via the accumulation of value over time. Furthermore, Bitcoin is a special asset that will alter the rules. Bitcoin will become the norm for digital currency, much like Microsoft software did for PCs. Finally, he explains that Bitcoin is a technological advancement that will last, not just a passing trend. Hence, his recommendation is to buy what you can set aside and observe how your investment increases over time. You will be happy that you were able to join something revolutionary early on, and you're not too late to the party. As you watch more clips from Lawrence Lepard's interview, you will see how he discusses Bitcoin as a better alternative to the fiat system and how it would open up unprecedented opportunities and positively change the monetary standards.
The printing press comes out, and, could you foresee that the church was going to fall and that everyone was going to be able to read, that we're going to have libraries, or that we're going to have the internet where you could literally get any piece of information anywhere in the world instantly? I mean, no, you can't really foresee these things. But here we are, they've invented a form of money that solves the biggest problem that every form of money has had for thousands of years. For thousands of years, money has been debased, full stop. There's been no money that hasn't been debased for thousands of years. Even gold. Gold, it grows at 1.7% a year. In 40 years, there'll be twice as much gold on the planet. It gets debased. Now, that's a lot sounder than fiat, which grows at, in the U.S., 7 or 8% a year since 1971. But monetary debasement has just been a fact of life for thousands of years. Bitcoin just solved that. Totally solved it. Completely, okay. Holy shit. Guess what? The world is going to look a lot different now that we solved that problem, right? And what people aren't thinking about is just, what does that mean? How different is the world going to look? And, and I don't even know, because I'm sure, just as the internet took paths that I could never have foreseen. I mean, could I foresee that I was going to do all my shopping online and Amazon, I was going to deliver shit to my house in under a day? No, I couldn't foresee that. I had no fucking clue when I was investing in dial-up internet that was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But I knew that sending email messages to people halfway around the world was going to be useful. And so I invested in it, right? And, do we know how Bitcoin's going to evolve and how it's going to get used and everything? No, we don't. But we do know that Bitcoin solves the problem of monetary debasement. And that's been a very big problem in human society for thousands of years. And so we just solved it. So, okay, I'll bet on that. I think, I'm guessing that over time, individual free-thinking humans, just like you and me and all the other people who've adopted Bitcoin, are all going to look at it and are going to come to the same conclusion and go, you know what? This solves the problem of monetary debasement. I want some of that. That works. Let's use that. Why would I ever price something in fiat when I know that fiat is just, it's bullshit, that it can get diluted? I'm not going to get paid back in real terms. I want to get paid back in Bitcoin terms. If you're looking for efficiency in money, if you're looking, so to get efficiency, you've got to invest in the right things. To invest in the right things, you've got to have the right price of the money. When you set the cost of the money at zero through ZERP, that's just a crime, because basically people can go borrow money for nothing. They invest in productive industry, and that's why billionaires and billionaires, and the rest of us are paying too much for shit, okay? So, if you set the price of money correctly, then you get an efficient investment framework where people will invest in things that have a return on them, and they won't invest in things that don't have a return on them. They won't make malinvestments. Having the money not deflect is the key to doing that correctly. I mean, if the money is moving around, if you price fix the money, I mean, here's the point I was trying to make earlier. My grandkids are going to say, I can't believe those idiots were letting 12 people in a room set the cost of capital. I mean, what the f were they? I mean, they will look at that the way that you and I look at medieval people who were bloodletting. I mean, they bloodlet, George Washington, right? I mean, they thought that, draining his blood would actually help him. It killed him at the end. I mean, he was sick anyway, he was going to die. But the point is, it's insane. The fact that we have a monetary system where we've got 12 people in a room, setting the policy, the interest rate policy, it's fucking nuts. It's why the world is so broken. And it's why we've got to return to a monetary standard that is sound. And once we do, I think people will be amazed at the benefits that we all reap from it.
Larry is a true Bitcoin enthusiast and asserts that Bitcoin's global adoption will fix the inflation problem worldwide. In a recent post on his X handle, he notes how inflation created wealth inequality and rejoices that Bitcoin came to the rescue. Inflation is the problem of our age. Inflation is what has created record wealth imbalances and unfairness. The age of inflation began in 1971. Going off the gold standard has nearly ruined the world. Thank God for Bitcoin. Lawrence Lepard is bullish on Bitcoin and constantly displays this on his X handle. In a thread created by gold enthusiast Peter Spiner, he noted that the power of Bitcoin already crushed gold. In another of his posts, Larry advised that the sooner one buys Bitcoin, the better. The best day to buy Bitcoin was yesterday. The second best day is today. It's going up forever, Laura. There is an argument for banning fractional reserve banking, which BTW, Bitcoin effectively does. As Bitcoin continues to make headlines, what are your thoughts on this interview? Do you agree with Lawrence Lepard that Bitcoin is the perfect investment? How much are you willing to invest into Bitcoin if you could? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video, and hit your thumbs on the like button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.